Hi, good morning. My name is Subramanya Desai. You can call me Subbu for short. So, before we start this session on, the practical ways to handle interviews, facing interviews, let me just briefly introduce myself. Uh, Currently, I run a couple of companies called N Synthesis, which essentially caters to uh, executive search, talent search in the mid and senior levels. And I also run a company called Longmiler. I am a director on this company. This essentially is a training company. This company can offer a varied number of training courses. But our flagship program is called Goal Cult. So this particular program is aimed at building goal culture among the young population of this country and make sure that they have a purpose in life as they move as they grow up in life. Of course, if you really look at my background, I have 20 plus years of experience in HR, essentially in the areas of talent acquisition, learning and development, and HR business partnering. Uh, I've spent a lot of time in talent acquisition, and also I am a passionate trainer. So I really enjoy doing these kind of programs. Uh, Most of my programs, of course, have been not online. This mostly they were all in person, so you might find me a little uncomfortable on this media, but I will try and do justice to the program. I have worked with companies which are quite well known in the market. To mention a few, my last assignment was with Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals. Prior to that, I was with Crompton Greaves Limited, which again was including consumer, add to it power and industrial. Then I was with Eaton at Pune, Honeywell in Bangalore, Sasken Communications, and I also have worked in a few startups and in education again with Jain Group of Institutions. I post graduated in environmental sciences way back in 1993 from Bharatidasan University, and then subsequently spent a few years in pollution control before moving on to the HR field. So that's my career profile. If you really look at the kind of programs I have done in the past, when I was in Saskin, I used to basically anchor a program called On Becoming a Leader. We also did a vision building exercise for Saskin. Then, of course, at Honeywell, I used to anchor a few programs in individual development. When I moved to Crompton Greaves, I became a certified Seven Habits trainer. Uh, and So I almost managed about 17 batches of training for senior personnel. These are all people who are senior managers and above. Now, coming to what really I do at Longmiler, we have developed a lot of programs that cater to people both in the colleges, schools, as well as in the corporate. We do a lot of programs on, business communication skills, interview management skills, uh, you know, facing the customer, client management skills, customer relationship skills, all these that are essentially used in the corporate by various people in various verticals. We also have designed and developed this, I would say, a flagship program called Goal Culture, which essentially, as I mentioned earlier, caters to the young talent in the country, where they actually go about setting goals for themselves and then ensure that they adhere to and grow in a way that actually fulfills their ambitions in life. So that's a very specialized program. We spend almost a couple of days with the young groups, helping them create goals, nurture them, stay aligned, and ensure that they are going where they want to really go. we will actually have a part of this goal setting and following happening actually in the program that we are going to go about now, because that's something that we essentially feel becomes the fundamental platform from where you can actually go and finish off a successful interview. It's very, very important that we have this particular module as a part of this whole program. Thank you. So let's look at what we are going to really discuss in the next few weeks as to what are the key modules that we are going to cover in this program. The starting one, of course, is preparing for a career. This is a long term. I mean, here when I am talking about this is something that I would really like to spend a lot of time on. I want you to spend a lot of time on. I'm assuming that you're all into professional courses. You spent almost 3 years now. I'm assuming you've spent 3 years already, and now you're in the last leg of your professional program, and you are here for a purpose. I'm hoping that you are really where you want to be. But then, starting from here, life can take life can throw a lot of options. You can have a lot of opportunities, a lot of choices to make, but then you got to make a right choice. And when we make those right choices for our career, then that really becomes a good platform from where you can go about performing, whether it's in your interview, whether it's in your job, or whether it is in your next steps of your career. That is where I feel that it's very important for us to spend time in terms of preparing for a career. For that, the first step is to have a proper long-term goal. I'm assuming that some of you have put in place a proper long-term goal, and for some of you who are still not too sure or still planning, I think it's really a high time. And this program really helps you to understand what's your long-term goal, should be put it in place, and so that when you really hit that platform where you have to start interviewing for getting into jobs, you're making the right choices, going into the right interviews, and getting an offer that makes sense for your career over a period of time. That's a very important thing. I think it is. As we go through this program, I'm sure you will also agree with me that putting a long-term goal and following it is something that is also very important for you, right? The second thing is critical information that you need to have. I think that's a very important module before while you are preparing for a long-term goal, or while you are preparing for the interviews that you're going to take. Information that you need to have, whatever it could be about companies, it could be about your roles and responsibilities you want to opt for, the career choices that you make. A lot of information needs to be assimilated. This is a very important word that I always firmly believe in, is research. And if you're not researching enough, I think you're making a lot of mistakes. A simple example, when you want to go to a movie along with your friends, it's a basic habit for each one of us to do a lot of research in terms of the kind of movies that are playing around, what are the kind of ratings they have, what is a critical input that you would want to hear from a film critic, what the general mass talks about this movie. You look at all that and then say, okay, this is the movie I would like to watch. When we spend so much time researching about a 3-hour movie that you want to watch, I think you should spend a lot more time in gathering a lot of information, researching before you make right career choices, and then walking into the right interviews. When I say right interviews, that means you're walking into interviews for the right companies where you would like to work. So that's where I again would like to re-emphasize research, and research. It's a very important step, in making a right career choice. The third, of course, preparing for that moment when the interview happens. Most of the programs that are available in the market, which basically guide you on interview skills or interview facing skills, whatever you may want to call it, essentially focus on this third point as to how do you prepare for that moment. Well, this is also important. We definitely spend a lot of time on how do you prepare for that moment, but not this may not be effective if you haven't done the first one and two. So what I will do is, as many people are eager to know what are the preparations that we need to face an interview at that moment, I have listed down what we will cover in the third module. So I am just running you through what we will actually cover in the module 3, or the key module 3, right? Here it is. So there are a lot of questions that people ask. So interview is all about answering questions, right? So there are various categories of questions that people really look at. So it's about how you prepare for these questions about self in general. What are your career interests? Again, when I say about your career interests, again we are touching on that point where if your preparation is good in terms of the right career choices that you would want to make, this answer can be easy, right? About the role that you would want to play, again, based on your career interest, everything relates around this word career and goal, right? And about the awareness about the company, again, how do you prepare to understand what this company is all about? How do you map your competence, in relationship to the company and the role? Then it becomes easier to handle the interview. And about your performance, how do you prepare about, what your performance has been in academics? What are your strengths? What are the projects you did? What are the kind of internships, right? Also, these are the things that we will cover in the various categories of questions that you will be asked, and you can prepare in answering them. Then there are also questions about, personality based questions. People are trying to figure out who you are, apart from what you've done in academics, right? So there could be a lot of questions around academic interests, hobbies, what are your other extracurricular achievements. So again, we'll help you to understand what should be the basis on what you're going to answer in for these kind of questions. Because we also find the reason why this is such an important topic is that a lot of people who come prepared, the word prepared in a negative way, because please, we make sure that when you answer these questions, you're really talking about yourself, and you're not trying to give a very prepared answer. So we're going to help you understand what you should evaluate about yourself, assess about yourself, and then present yourself as a person. Then, of course, I should put it as what the masala is all about in facing the interviews: your dress code, your body language, your communication, presentation skills. How do you start a discussion? How do you engage the interviewer? All these things actually, we help you understand and prepare. Again, it is not just about answering questions, it's also about the kind of questions that you're going to ask. So this, we also will make sure that you ask the right questions to the panel, right? And some important do's and don'ts. This is again, I would say, more about behaviors. Concluding and exiting the interview. How do you gather yourself when you walk out of that place? Because you make a meaningful impact when you come out of this interview session. And under COVID times, of course, some guidelines on how you need to answer your online tests that we will have that covered. And the last thing, of course, guidelines for preparing for a video-based interview, because a lot of interviews today may happen on, the most talked about thing is, of course, Zoom. And there are a lot of platforms coming up where you can appear for a video interview online. So these are the few things that we're going to cover. I would also suggest that if you have any specific topics that you would like to get input from me, I will be happy to cover that as well. Please, reach out to the email address that you'll see at the end of this session. Shoot your topics, questions, clarifications, whatsoever at the end of this program for today, and then you can that information will reach me. We can add that as a part of the key modules and move about in our sessions way ahead. Thank you so much. Hi, so we are back. We're back to basically module one. Module one, as we said, basically is aimed at having a proper career goal in place. You must be wondering as to why are we talking about a career goal. I think we did discuss about this, but then just to reinforce, if you have a proper career goal in place, if we can do a little bit of reverse engineering here, you will automatically see that a goal will drive you to probably list a set of companies where you would want to go and work, because it would mean a lot to you working in these companies as well as meet your career goals. So once you have a set of companies which you would want to look at as possible career options, then you would obviously reverse engineer and see what kind of research that needs to be done about these companies, so that you have enough information to go and face interviews in these kind of companies. And accordingly, you will also prepare, hone up your skills, prepare on the kind of information about these companies, as well as the kind of skills that you may want to showcase in these interviews. So all these things would obviously mean that you are preparing better to face interviews in these kind of companies that would meet your career goal. So that's exactly what I mean by ensuring that there is a proper career goal in life. But then the point here is that is it so easy to come up with a career goal? Because after all, you are doing a professional course, and there is a reason why you are already here. Whether it's computer science, mechanical, electrical, civil, whatever I am doing, there's a particular reason why I am here. So obviously, this would drive up my career goals. But then what I'm again trying to reinforce here is that while you are here very clearly with a purpose, which would mean that you would want to spend a few years of your professional life in this line, they may not necessarily mean that there are certain finer aspects of your career which would be automatically taken care of. Like, for example, let me just give you, there are people who may want to pursue their long-term careers in sales. There could be people who could want to be in design. There could be people who would want to be spearheading operations. These are the final elements of your career. And there could be people who just want to spend their whole life in software development or probably research. So if you really look at these finer elements of your careers, now is the time when you can actually fix it and move towards it. Please remember, if you spend 10 years of your life doing something else and you want to change course after 10 years, I would say it is not very difficult, but you lost 10 years of your life. Many a times we actually end up starting all over again. So it's very important that you are at a very good time in your life where you can actually fix a career goal and move towards it. So then there are a lot of questions that will probably come up in your mind when you will say, so how do I fix this career goal? Is it just a dream that I'm going to put it as a goal, or is there anything else that I would like to do? Well, career goals are derivatives of your dream, but then it requires a realistic assessment. For example, let me run through one of it, which is understanding your strengths. A very, very important parameter is to know whether you have significant strengths that can actually help you decide on your career goal, right? For example, if I am very strong in my communication skills, that means that I have a natural choice to make a career in sales, or it could even be in marketing, because these set of professions require a very strong ability to communicate and present. Now let's look at the other option. I would want to pursue a career in design, right? So do I have, asking a reverse question, do I have the capability? Well, you need to have natural ability to create, conceive, and take it to the end. That means if you look at something like product development, right? So this is what it is. There are some who are endowed with execution skills. So what kind of careers could be their choice? Well, program management, project management, or probably these are also good guys to be CEOs, because they can probably put a lot of people and capabilities together to deliver what the company wants. So it's very, very important for us to say, okay, here is my dream. This could be probably my career goal, but can I do a realistic assessment? Right. So, having explored what our significant strengths are, and then having assessed, whatever career goals are, now it is basically time to see how my education is going to complement my strength so that it matches up to my career goals. Uh, there could be some amount of damage control that needs to be done if our education is not really complementing our strengths. For example, if someone is very strong on communication skills and would like to uh, pursue a career in a field that supports communication skills, it could be sales, it could be marketing, it could even be media. Uh, for some reason you are currently pursuing a civil engineering degree, which may not really complement your long-term career goal. There could be some amount of damage control that you might want to do at this point of time. Probably pursue a career in uh, communication skills. I mean, an MBA in sales and marketing, or you could even do mass communication if you want to pursue careers in media-based companies. So there are a lot of possibilities, but what is very, very important here is that your education at some point of time needs to complement your strengths, and it would finally lead up to getting to your career goal. For some of you where there are no issues, like for example, someone is pursuing a degree in electrical engineering, or electronics, or computer science, or information sciences, and you're very, very sure you want to spend the rest of your life in the software field or in the respective fields, then it's already complementing. But then that's still very important to see when you make choices of the kind of companies you want to get into. Relook at your strengths and decide where you want to pursue. Like for example, if you look at software development, there are many kind of companies in the market. Like for example, if you were to look at services organizations, the skills that are required for a services organization like an Infosys or a Wipro could be much more different than the skills required in a product development organization. So again, like for example, if your orientation is management, over a period of time, services companies give you a much greater, brighter chance for program management, project management kind of roles. While if technology is your passion, then product companies are much better, because the roadmaps are much more technology oriented than pure management. So again, that is where I said, how do I finally map my current education with my strengths and my career aspirations? All of this basically plays a very, very significant role in preparing for your interviews. Okay, so now we have seen how our strengths and our education together can complement in forming up our career goal, right? Now, having done that, this would be a good time to really think and see what are our best career options based on what we want to really achieve. It's very important for us to see what we choose carefully. So that means it requires a lot of research. Like for example, I always take this option of doing software development in a large setup, which is focused on product development. It's now very, very important to see what are my career options that I can pursue in product development. Product development again is a very vast field. Or if you look at, if I want to specialize in general management, what are the career options? When I say career options, it could be different lines, it could be different companies, different styles of management, different endpoints. When I say endpoints, I mean, if you really look at it, not everyone in this world is trying to be a CEO of an organization. There could be other options. There could be people who are chasing ideas, want to do a startup, want to make sure that some of their ideas are converted into market presence. There are others who are happy working with a large services oriented organization where they probably end up becoming heads of departments in the line of their choice. There are others who are maybe with greater aspirations, wanting to be CEOs of setups. There are people who want to launch multiple companies, be serial entrepreneurs. So there are many options, and you are at that starting point. What I would suggest is that, as I said earlier, research, and research, because it will throw you a lot of information, which basically will help you to decide the right direction. Thanks to your times, you have Google, so they give you a lot of information. Also, it's very important here that you also try and find role models, or if you already have role models, look at their career paths. It could throw you a lot of options. So it's very important at this point of time to make sure that at least you have a clear career goal, wherein these career goals are well supported by your strengths, your education, and your research. Thank you so much. Before we end up this session, I have a little exercise for you. Please take a small piece of white paper, write down first your strengths, your education, and a dream, right? And assess your strengths, check how your education can align, and based on these two, please write a career goal. I will probably expect you to meet during the next session with having filled these three aspects. I will also send you a small questionnaire, probably about 5 to 8 questions that you will respond to online. Have a great week ahead of you. I will also share my email address so that you can send in any queries that you have, and I will be happy to respond to you. Thank you.